Good evening, and a very, very warm welcome to old and new friends. Lovely to see some old faces here. So, how are you, first of all? Good?
Very.
Alhamdulillah. Good evening to the Zoom also. I think we have people from Lebanon, from Greece, Kuwait. So, whoever doesn't know the name of this physical body is Loanna, and I come from Greece. Originally, I was in Kuwait 23 years, and finally back to Greece. So, why you're here today? For lecture about silence. So that means if you are here to listen about silence, I think that you recognize the value and the importance of silence. Yes or not? Inner silence and outer silence. Otherwise, I think you wouldn't be here to listen about that. So, first of all, let's give a definition of silence. What is silence? And I think for most of the people, silence is the absence of sound, of noise. The external silence has to do with the absence of noise. And where do we go when we need silence, external silence? Each one most probably goes into different places. What about you? Where do you go when you need to be in silence? You have a cave here in Kuwait? Voila, amazing. I like to go to a cave. I love caves. So some they go to a cave, some they go maybe to the beach in the side. Your bed, yes. Garden. Where else? Traveling. Wow. Is it silent in the airplane? In the plane? Most of the time. It's a different noise. Okay, I see, I see what you mean. Anything else? Nature, garden, yeah. So, yeah, we try to find silent spots externally to find external silence. But let's say you're in a very, very quiet place, somewhere in nature. Do you really find silence? Yeah. Sorry? Bedroom. Except if you have a husband that he's talking too much. So, yes, okay, we have the external silence, quietness. But what about my thoughts? Are my thoughts silent? Is there shut off the thoughts? Should be. Is it? So when I'm in silent environment, what my mind thinks most of the time, what my heart feels most of the time, and what my conscience speaks most of the time. So we realize that beyond the the external absence of noise, there is also the internal need for inner silence. And I can say that there are three forms of inner silence. One is the silence of the mind. The second form is the silence of the heart. And then I will explain. And the third one, the third form of silence is the silence of my conscience. So, coming into the first form, which is the silence of the mind. Is the silence of the mind. Most of the time there are many thoughts in the mind. There is a lot of traffic and upheaval in the mind, either because I receive from the outer world some stimulus, which is behaviors, attitude from other people, situations, environment, maybe some, for example, calamities, natural calamities, or whatever it is. It's coming a noise, thoughts from outside, inside into my mind. And what do you think? Which noise, which disturbance is most, let's say, creates more upheaval? Work related. Okay, for some is work related. For some others, maybe. Stuck in traffic. Other kind of upheaval in the mind? Nature disasters. But you see, the natural calamities, disasters are not so often. What is something that we face every day? Relationships. The behavior and attitudes of others that are in connection with us. So this is one main form, the upheaval of the mind, of the thoughts, creation of many thoughts in response to attitudes, behaviors, etc. And we have to find a way to silence this kind of thoughts, not to shut them off. It's not about shutting them off. It's about having an attitude of understanding. But let me not go into the depth, because later on we're going to speak about the ways to silence the mind. The second form of silence that we're looking for is, and very important also, is the silence of our heart, which is the silence of feelings. Feelings of being hurted. And again, it comes from relationships, either in the present moments or from the past. And I'm sure that most of us, we are facing this kind of upheaval. Feelings, being hurted and feeling that I'm not respected, I'm not valued from others. So basically, we matter a lot about the opinions of others. And we'll come back into that and see how we can overcome that and create silence in the heart. And the third silence, the third form of silence is the silence of my conscience. Is my conscience bite me means, do I have feelings of regret or guilty feelings or and this comes mostly from my actions. Yeah. And thoughts, of course, the subtle ways, the thoughts, but mostly from actions. When because basically conscience for me is like a vessel, the vessel of truth. And whenever I'm thinking or I'm doing something that goes against my truth, then I don't feel comfortable. My conscience bites. And this truth is like my morals, my ethics, my values. It's, yeah, basically that, my truth. And so these are the three kinds of silence that, the three forms of silence that we need to master, I can say, to master. So, which one from here thinks that you master most of the time to silence the mind? We master the mind? Yes? We do master that? Excellent. Myself, I didn't yet. After so many years, no, I didn't, because when I'm saying mastering the mind, there is no master of the mind, basically. There is observing the mind and being detached from the mind, from the thoughts, because the original, let's say, the activity or the nature of the mind is to create thoughts. It's not possible to shut the mind. But if we try to shut, Shaima, right? Shaima, if we try to shut our mind, the mind is going to react even more. But what we can do is, number one, redirect my thoughts, okay? And slow down the speed of the thoughts. But to shut down the thoughts is not possible. And I am able to slow the speed of the thoughts when I'm able to be an observer. When I'm able to disidentify the self, the real self, that I am awareness, from my thoughts, from my mind. You see, I say my mind. I don't say I, the mind. So if I say my mind, that means that the mind belongs to me. And when something belongs to me, I can do whatever I like with that. So I can slow it down. And from my personal experience, when the mind is in upheaval, means a lot of thoughts that may come, maybe thoughts of worries, that comes from insecurity, from what else? Fear, or whatever. At that moment, immediately try to disconnect, to put the thoughts there and the mind there and the self here. Just observe. Don't judge. We don't judge our thoughts. Oh, I have such a bad thoughts, or this. No, just observe. Say, okay, I'm observing. You do your work and I'm doing my work. And when I have the attitude of a detached observer, then, or the consciousness or the awareness of a detached observer, then after a while, definitely the speed of the thoughts, they will slow down. And this is how I silence the mind. And the state of a silent mind is a mind that has pure thoughts. Pure thoughts, what does it mean, pure thought? Pure thought to me, it means thoughts that elevate myself. They don't put me down. Elevate myself, elevate others, and it's connected with a supreme power. We call it Allah, we call it God. We are tuned with that frequency. The frequency of my mind and the frequency of God, of Allah, is at the same level. Yeah? Then I can say that my mind is silent. Do you agree so far? Any questions so far? Something to clarify? Yes. Your name, brother? Sad. Sad. Yes. Yes. A pure thought for the self is, I am worth it. I'm unique. I'm a child of God. I am, what else? Tell me, those who are coming to the morning classes, say thoughts that we are listening. Sorry? I'm a soul is a pure thought. It's a thought of awareness, but a pure thought has also, says, I am a soul, but what kind of soul? I'm a merciful soul. I am a powerful soul. I'm a beautiful soul, unique soul. Yeah, we have to put, with the soul, equality. Yes, then, yeah, right? Because everybody is a soul, and of course, everybody is unique and everybody is beautiful. But now we're talking about uplifting the self. Poor, P-O-O-R, not poor soul. There is no soul that is poor. The person can be poor, but not a soul. Because the soul, when I have this awareness that I am a child of God, and then I feel that everything is inside of me. I have everything I need. Everything. I have everything I need in that awareness. But when I identify the self with the personality, Joanna, and the characteristic of Joanna, it's a female or the profession or the status or whatever, the religion, whatever, then there is options that something is missing. Definitely. Yeah. As a role, always we're missing something. As a wife, maybe I'm missing the love of the husband, or as a mother, maybe I'm missing the love of the children, or as a profession, as a teacher, I'm missing the respect of my colleagues. All the time, something is missing when I identify myself with a personality. Do you agree so far? Huh? Shall we continue? So now we're going to the silence of the heart. Silence of the heart has to do with our emotions, the feelings. I'm being hurted. I am not valued. All this that we mentioned. Others are not listening to me. So, how can I heal these feelings? Or how can I remove these feelings from my heart? Any idea? Be positive. Definitely.
Change your thoughts.
What did you say, Hamza?
Change your thoughts.
Change your thoughts. Definitely change your thoughts. But maybe sometimes you try to change your thoughts and they're not changing. They are insisting, they're chasing you. Yes, maybe it's a hard way to change the thoughts. It can happen definitely on time with a lot of practice. But there is a panacea, we call it, for. Who said forgiveness? Forgiveness, definitely forgiveness, but forgiveness happens only when there is something. There is connection with God, when there is detachment, where there is acceptance, someone said. Acceptance. If we take all this that you said and put it in a box, in a container, this is the container of the big word, love. The power or the way to silence our heart and feel at ease is love. Is the power of love, love for the self, and love for God and from God. The first thing to experience is love from God. And really, love, I can say that it's the first desire for all souls. All souls, the first thing that they need, they desire is love. And when we fulfill this desire, all other desires are being satisfied automatically. But we should be a little bit, how you call it? Collective, we call it. Yeah. What kind of love I'm accepting? Collective, the purest love that can never harm me, can never give me sorrow, can never give me disrespect, is love from God, because this is the purest being in the universe. The only being that is ever pure, and his love is unconditional. Because Baba, it's like the sun. God is like the sun. The sun is giving to everybody unconditional. It doesn't say, I will give to this flower, I will not give my light to that flower. But the flowers or the beings on the earth or in the universe, they need to be open to receive this love. So there are some aspects in life and some attitudes maybe that it's a matter of habits that we have accumulated or traumas during this life, or whoever believes in past lives, we have accumulated, and they are blocking us from receiving God's love. And basically is, when others are telling me, you are not enough, you are not good, or, when others are criticizing me, and I believe to others, but then my heart shrinks. Or when I lose my self-respect. How do I lose my self-respect? Any ideas? How do I lose my self-respect? Sorry?
When I don't have boundaries.
Yeah. When?
I don't put boundaries.
When I don't put boundaries, then I don't lose my self-respect. Or I lose
lose.
self-respect?
I lose.
Boundaries, you mean to those, with those around me?
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Being dishonest. Yes. All around, detached to material things. This actually is losing your power when you do that. But to me, I lose my self-respect when I identify myself, the real self, with my role. The role, the different levels that they're being put to this body, to this role. You are a woman. Okay, what is connected with that aspect? This and that. You should be beautiful, or you should be whatever. So when I identify myself with my role, different roles that I play, then when I identify myself with the roles and I don't, how can I say that? Others are not appreciating what I am, and I take that into my heart, then I lose my self-respect, because this is not the real me. The personality, the role is not the real me. And in action, in life, let's say, so many changes are happening. Even the body is changing. So when the body changes from young to old, I lose my self-respect, or I prefer to have a young body. I prefer to have a beautiful body, and it's not there. So I lose my self-respect because the image about the self is identified with the material. And the law of the material world is the change. Everything changes. Sorry? Mm-hmm.
The life is different. We have too much reality about, or dreaming about everything good, everything sweet, I'm young, but the reality is not the same.
Sorry, can you explain it more? I didn't get your point. What do you want to say with that? That when we have expectations. Yes. When you don't meet the dreams, yeah, then you lose your self-confidence. Self-confidence, I can say. It's not possible to meet all the external expectations. This is not possible in life. Sometimes it's like that, sometimes it's different. That's why the most important thing is just to know who really am I. And who really am I? I think all of us that we are here, more or less, we know. Who is here from first time?
Second time.
Second time. Brother? Few more times? One time. Okay. Okay. No, I'm saying here in Harmony House. Okay. Here we really, I can say, study about the real self, the real awareness, which is the self which is beyond any external images, external labels. But this, I think you can have it more analytical on Monday. That starts the course with Mona, Sister Mona Larfetz. Monday, she's going to start the course. And whoever didn't have the course, I highly recommend to get it. And it's about conscious living, the art of conscious living, and gives you all these informations, because now if we go into details, we're going to lose our topic, our theme.
It will be next Monday, so more people can join.
Monday, yes. This
Next one, not this Monday, the next one. Not after tomorrow.
Are you sure, Khalid?
Yeah, we changed the date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you. So, we're talking about the silence of the heart that is connected with the experience of love, and love is the first desire of its soul. Now, there is also now some scientific proof about the healing power of love. And they say, I was listening to a lecture of a scientist. I think his name is, most of you know him, Dr. Joe Dispenza. So he's into science and biology. So they were doing many researches with some patients, basically, and they tried to heal illnesses of the body. One thing that he was saying at the end of his lecture is that it's not possible to heal the matter, the body, without first healing the mind and the heart. Yeah? So healing cannot happen without first healing that. Now, he was mentioning that maybe some of you have a medical background, you know it, or biology background, that when we experience love, then in silence, the love from God, there is a chemical being released, which called oxytocin. And when even a small amount of oxytocin, if it's being released, this gives a signal to amygdala. Amygdala, yeah? You know about the amygdala? Is the controlling center of, I can't remember, amygdala. So, and
the amygdala in the brain is responsible for
the brain.
Yeah,
in the
it's
brain.
responsible for the fight and flight and freeze.
Okay. It's responsible for flight, freeze, and fight. And allow me to see the notes so I don't give you wrong information, because I'm not a scientist. Sorry? No, it says that the research shows that the smallest increase of oxytocin goes straight to it says the survival center of the brain, as Hamza was saying, to the amygdala. And then this shuts down the reaction to fear. Listen to that, the reaction to fear and anxiety, and lowers the intensity for aggression, anger, and then it cools the circuit in the brain, the circuit for pain and suffer. So, small amount of oxytocin, that is a release of this chemical because of love, the experience of love. You see what it creates, huh? No fear, no anxiety, no pain, no suffer, lowers pain and suffer, and there is no anger, lowers the intensity of anger and aggression. Isn't it amazing? Then this speaks about the lower amount of oxytocin. Now, when we are really tuned, we are in fall in full love with the self and with God, the levels of oxytocin are very high. And what happens when the levels of oxytocin are very high? Then it signals this chemical, oxytocin, the chemical which called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide. In Greek, we call it monoxídio του αζότου. I think someone is from Greece. And that caused a relaxation to the heart, the lungs, and the arteries. And he was saying that when this happened, even the physical, biological heart expands. And this gives the feeling of fullness, of completeness. Completeness. How you know the biology, the body is so much connected with the mind. Body-mind connection. There's a deep connection. And we should respect that also. So when really coming into, someone spoke about forgiveness here, yeah? Forgiveness is an expression of love. When someone experiences this kind of love, high levels of love from God and high levels of love for the self, then really feels so much happiness that doesn't really deal with doesn't hold grudges. So there is this expression, this experience of forgiveness, this expression of forgiveness. Your heart is full of forgiveness. And you know, if you think about that, when I hold grudges in my heart, it's like I'm giving also my power to someone else. Because that, what happened, I'm thinking a lot about the other person that hurt me or whatever. Why should I give my power to someone else by thinking all the time about that? I have, when I'm in the mood of, in the state of happiness, not mood, state of happiness and joy and love, I really have so beautiful things to do. I don't waste my time with this level of energy. And I really experienced that. It's so true, and so either it can shrink our energy or we're expanding. And we feel like we are in love with everybody and with everything around us. But you are giving energy. Yes. You are giving. But not bad. The main source of that pure love is the pure being, the highest being is God, is Allah. So we are here really here that we're coming every day and do our daily studies and our meditation. Yeah, the main aim is to increase that pure connection, pure relationship with God more and more and more, to make it as deep as possible, that nothing can break it. No situation, no human being can break this connection. Yes? Any questions so far? Yes, please.
So when you forgive it, you split it. It's forgiving yourself, your life. I'm forgiving the other person there.
Forgiving. Forgiving. Thank you. Thank you for that. Now, there is a toolkit that we can use daily for silent our mind. By the way, why we want to silence our mind? Because today we're speaking about silence, the silence of our heart, our mind, our conscience. Why do we have to master the silence of the three? What is going to be the result? Sorry? To be in touch, definitely, to be in touch with God, yes. And the result of all this is, yes, someone from Zoom was ready to say something?
Well, to be able to listen and to hear the messages from Almighty God.
When we're in silence, yes.
And it's the language of the soul.
It's the language, definitely.
And not to lose control of yourself by choosing the wrong decision or path in your life. To be very focused, specific, energy preserve, mindset.
Very good. Yes. What else?
Things happens when you are in silence.
Everything happens when you master silence, when you are in silence. And what happens actually is, what is our aim in life? Silence leads to happiness. This is the aim in life. That's why we're on this earth, to be happy. Otherwise, what is the point? To be happy. So really, we have a very powerful tool in our hands, and it's up to me. It's up to me. It's up to someone else. Yeah. And definitely there are, before I will give you the tools, share with you the tools of, quick tools to silence the mind. I heard from one very, great yogi in this Raja Yoga. Her name was Daddy Janki, and she passed away. She left the body in the age of 103 or 104, and it was 2021, 21 or 22, I can't remember. So they asked her, Daddy, what is the difference between peace and silence? Is there a difference between peace and silence? There is some difference. So she said that peace is something that we have inside of us. Basically, peace is part of our nature. Peace is part of our nature. Now, silence is the way to reach to that peace that we lost. And we lost that peace because we allow the external world to create a home inside us. And we lost that peace. So silence is the way to reach to peace, deep contentment, and yeah. And although all of us, I think we are crave for peace, sometimes, I don't know what about you, but maybe sometimes people, they witness that they fear silence. And why is that? Because noise has a purpose. Noise all the time. It kind of shuts our conscience and we are not able to see clearly what is inside, because silence is a mirror to see the beauty in us, but it's also a mirror to see some rubbish that are inside, yeah? So it works both ways. That's why sometimes people are afraid to be in silence, and they become human doings in order to avoid to become human beings. But it's like we're going against our nature, because we are human beings, not human doings. I'm not doing to be. I don't need to do something to be. Recently, someone told me, "Oh, sister, I love you so much because you are tight, because you keep the place clean," or whatever is that. And it sounded in my mind, I love you because. In love, there is no because. I don't love you because. I love you for what you are. And this is the main, how you call it? Characteristic, the main quality of God, that God loves us as we are, what we are. Because Allah doesn't focus on the external and in the present situation. Allah can see the soul, the real self, and can see the diamond, the rose behind, the fragrance of the soul, which is, yes, sometimes covered from the external situations, but all the souls are real diamonds, are flowers in fragrance. And all together, we create this beautiful bouquet in the garden of Allah.
I love you. Loanna.
Sorry?
I love you.
Love you too. For what you are, Khalid. I love you really for what you are. This beautiful soul. Thank you. So, yeah. The toolkit to maintain the silent mind. I can refer to 3 toolkits. Yeah, put it in your bag, in your pocket, and whenever you need, use it. The first toolkit is putting a full stop. Full stop, easy, yeah? Not question mark, not exclamation mark, full stop. I will come back to that. The second tool is the switch, on and off a switch, like the light. And the third tool is pause, the pause button. Now, when we use the full stop, we use it in action. When we are, what we say, karma yogis, we are doing different things. We are in action in daily life. And whilst we're in action, if something, a challenging situation is coming in front of me, let's say a challenging person, yeah, in a relationship, immediately, before you go into expansion, analyzing and thinking about how, what, why, full stop. Now, you can say it's not easy. Sister Joanna, it's not easy to put a full stop. I understand that. Yes, it's not easy, just to put a full stop. But what if, when I visualize the full stop, okay, finish, let's go to the next moment. What if, together with this one full stop that represents the like closing down, the expansion, at the same time, I can think about three dots, because a full stop is a dot. 3 dots. One dot represents the self, the soul, this infinite point of awareness, of energy, the soul, of light. The second full stop of point is the whole life, yeah? Just like see life, make it so small, or the whole planet so small that it's being, how you call it? In English, περιέχεται, contained.
Shrink.
Shrink, yes, exactly. Like nothing matters. Nothing really matters. Full stop to a point, the drama, the life. And the third full stop, the third point is God, the reference to Him, the Supreme Being, this concentrated, very powerful energy. So, full stop to the situation, connected with myself, the real self, the pure I, pure awareness, and at the same time connected with Allah. It's like one straight line connecting the 3 dots. A line, pure energy. The energy from God drops, goes to the soul, and from the soul to life. So the first tool, full stop, whatever is happening. Does it help to go into expansion, analyzing? Second tool is the switch, to be able to switch from negative to positive. And anything that happens that might create some doubts, upheaval in me, let me really switch that thought, change the thought into positive. I think brother, you mentioned about positive, from negative to positive. And this also we can help ourselves by writing down some affirmations about the self. So we have already the affirmation. There are so many affirmations out there. Louise Hay, so many people. So we write some affirmation about the self, and whenever it's needed, we use that affirmation, and we change the negative into positive immediately, the switch. And the third tool is, we call about the pause button. Now, the pause button, we are using it basically when we are sitting down in meditation, to be in silence and connect with God, with Allah. So, usually, because our mind is so, noisy and moves a lot during the day, when you sit down, you say, now, I will start meditating. I want to connect with God, and nothing happens. And the mind continues to spin. And then at that moment, you talk with a lot of love, like a mother to your mind, and say, look, to any thought that is coming, I will deal with you later. You don't reject it. You say, okay. Let's say plans are coming. Oh, tomorrow I have to do that. I will do this. All kind of thoughts. Just put them aside. Say, okay, I will deal with you later. In this moment, I would like to be in silence and connect with myself and with God. So doesn't feel rejection, the mind. So it's going to listen. It's going to be quiet. We have to really be very tactful with our child. The mind is like our child. And one image comes into my mind with when I was a little kid, we played this game of turning around, like Sufis, turning around ourselves. And then we stop. And then when we stopped, we were about to fall because still everything was, moving around us. The same happens when we are in a busy day and we sit down to have silent time and meditation and connection. This is happening. Everything turns. All the thoughts are coming. Now, one more very, very useful habit, I can say, during the day is to do this, how we call it here, traffic control of the mind. From time to time, as many times, here in this country, we have the prayers. The time of a prayer is a traffic control. So whatever you do, you drop it down and you connect. Or you can do it, if you like, every hour. You can do it just for one minute. No need for more. Just for that moment, drop everything down and see how do you feel. And observe your mind. If you are not feeling well, what thoughts your mind has. Observe your thoughts and change them, redirect, put the positive affirmation. I am a beautiful soul. I am a pure soul. I am whatever affirmation you want, a child of God. And just for one minute, and then continue. The next hour, for 1 minute, remember to do that. You can put in your mobile a beautiful music every hour, for example, or every 2 hours, every 3 hours, as you like. But more often you do, it becomes a habit of observing, being aware of my thoughts. But I will also invite you to not just redirect your mind, but first observe it, detached from the thought, from the feeling, and then feed the mind with the thought that you like to experience. Detachment, observation, detachment, and give the positive affirmation. So which are the 3 tools we say? Basically, this is the 4th, the traffic control. Full stop, the switch on and off, and pause. And the traffic control. Traffic control and pause is kind of, it's the same thing. And yeah, some other, let's say, and we'll finish with that and with some meditation and then some question answers. The ways to support and to apply this toolkit that we mentioned now and to make it work like instantly, it's good to try to change our attitude towards life. And one attitude that we can try to change is to be an observer, to observe and vice absorb. Like observe everything, that absorb everything that is happening and take it inside. Observe instead of absorb. Then it's simplify. Simplify. instead of analyzing, criticizing, and processing my feelings. Whenever you observe something like that, just simplify it. Simplify, simple. Another thing, another attitude is go with the flow instead of, how you call it, of resist. Yes. Just go with the flow. And definitely the situation, something has to teach me, not to teach me, I have to learn something from that. And when I have the attitude of learning, then I become more powerful, more wise, and resilient. And then the awareness of a human being, we mentioned that, nice human doing. So very aware whenever I do something, I'm a human being, not a human doing. And never do something because you want others to value you or because you want to value yourself. Let's do whatever we do out from our heart, not because. Human beings and not human doings. Then we mentioned exercise forgiveness and really exercise a lot gratitude. Gratitude, be grateful about everything, about whatever I have. Don't think about what I don't have, but what I have. And I have everything because everything is inside. So, before we go into a meditation, some silent moments, any questions so far? Something? No questions? Very nice. That means you agreed with everything, right? You absorbed this and then, yes.
Shanti.
Give us 1 second,
Joanna.
please. Someone is talking. Just 1 second, please. Thank you.
Instead, somebody is asking, instead of fixing a relationship, we just end it.
Sorry,
but
sister.
why?
Iman, one sister was asking something. I will come back to that question, okay? A mic to sister, what's your name? A mic to Inam, please. Can you?
Hello.
It's very simple
Yes.
question.
Yes.
Thank
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
She's yes.
Yeah, I mean, now what's around us, the surrounding, what we
A
have.
little bit closer.
Yeah, what we have around us in Arab countries, especially in Arab.
Okay.
Okay.
How can we live in peace and in silence and without thinking? I'm thinking about these countries 24 hours. I can't stop it.
One sister here is asking how we can, in this country, especially in the Middle East, with all that is happening, be in peace and in silence. And I could say also, sister, that it's not only here, it's in many parts of the world that things are happening. So it refers to everywhere. Yes, in different situations. So from what we share today, who would like to give an answer or their own point of view? Yes.
Five politicians,
Invite
The politicians.
the politicians.
The Harmony House.
That's
That's a first step in the right direction, I think.
The brother said, invite the politicians to Harmony House. And really, it's a good idea. Because if those leaders will get little bit touch of that knowledge, the world can change to the best. And
I would say, Sister Loanna, there are things that happening in the world that we cannot change or we cannot influence.
Okay. Right. There are. I agree with you, Hamza,
So
but
I don't know of ourselves and change ourselves.
change the response to the situations. Instead of responding with fear, with stress, anxiety, insecurity.
Sister Joanna, Shanti.
Iman, we are, we didn't finish.
There is one brother on Zoom, Mr. Tariq. He want to ask you one question.
Okay, let's finish with that question now that we're talking, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I would like to ask the question about the relationships.
Okay.
Now, when a couple faces a problem, maybe a big problem sometimes that may cause like some problems with inner peace. Now, I have a point of view, instead of just letting go, just fix it. And what I heard from you today, that just put a dot and then just let go. And by doing that with like normal life experience or dramas that happens, how can a relationship last for you? Like our grandfathers and the parents, their relationship extended many, many years. And why can't we do that these days? Why do we just let go in the first problem?
Okay, brother, I will give a short answer to that. And then for a more extended answer, you can come to the to the course that it's going to be not this Monday, the next Monday. Mona, what is the date? 16th of December. There many questions are going to come. Are going to meet an answer, and many pieces of the puzzle that they will come together. But coming back to your question, why the relationship, they cannot last like before, like parents or our parents, because my point of view, now we are living in a very materialistic world, much more than when our grandparents were living, or our parents. And we move a lot away from this consciousness of soul to soul, seeing the other being that has a role of a wife or a husband as just a husband and wife, and it's not another soul. And also it's missing the understanding that each soul now in this era, in this time, is empty and is looking to fill up the emptiness from other souls, from a relationship. Either is a relationship of a partner, of children, of colleagues, whatever it is that. So something that is empty cannot fill something else that is also empty. I have to be full in order to fill up something that is empty. And the best, actually, the best solution is myself to fill up myself with connection with God, and the other soul also to fill up the self, the soul, with the love of God, and then the relationships can last forever, but they're going to be pure relationships in a sense that it's a connection of soul to soul, not matter or body to body. I don't know if someone else has any other point of view to share. Mona, you want to share something? Because I have an experience in that.
No, I think because the times now, they call, even our children, it's like they call them the G generation, like we are in a different generations, different times, different era. And like you said, everyone is empty and they cannot last because life became complicated. Before they were simple, living in a farm. And now with all the technology, the social media, other like other needs, other desires. People are in constant competition. So they are seeking always to be better, to look better, so I think because, the emptiness of the soul.
Yes.
But
and they, how you call it, they make matter God, it's like the materialistic world is like their God. It's everything.
But I think technology also played a part in that. Yeah. That's why now there is many people who are studying like the artificial intelligence, but with the relationship of ethics, because they said those who are, like, AI, I'm sure there's a lot of benefits, but also they're not seeing the consequences of the whole, like AI advancement, and on the impact on ethics and values. So I think,
yeah, with all this technology, thank you, Mona, with technology, with this materialistic world, the soul lost its own homeostasis, we call it. Homeostasis is when an organism is able to maintain the stability, its own stability, regardless the external changes. So the soul lost its own homeostasis.
I just have
because
one
it's being
question.
affected
I think
by
you want to
the
maybe,
external.
I have
maybe
one.
it's good
Sorry?
we finish up with the meditation, just to respect the time.
Muna,
Thank you.
عندي بس one question. The silent tools, is it a way to support your subconscious or your conscious?
I share about some tools for a silent mind. It is the full stop, the switch on and off.
Yeah, I have them. I wrote them down.
Yeah,
But she's saying, is it for the conscious or the subconscious?
Yes. If it's from the conscious of the subconscious. Good question. A short answer is that when the conscious mind is working, conscious mind means is the mind that is analytical, thinking, the thinking mind, the analytical mind, the planning mind. When the conscious mind is working, then we cannot go into the era of silence. Now, when we go into the era of silence, we shut down the conscious mind for a while, we shut down the conscious mind, and in silence we are connected with God, the God consciousness. In God consciousness, there is no subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is not operating, because the subconscious mind has to do with all our memories, all our habits. Subconscious mind has to do with habits and memories. So when we put a full stop, it's not the subconscious mind that it's working. It's God consciousness that it should work. Yeah, a short answer into that, but yeah, it's very deep aspect. And so let's finish with short meditation. Mm-hmm. Have some music or not? Yes. So for the next few moments, let me guide myself let me put all my attention to the real awareness that am I. For that, first of all, I need to disconnect all my senses from this physical world, the world of matter, and try to feel that nothing exists around me. These roles that I play if nothing of all this exists, then who really am I? Bring my full attention into this pure awareness awareness of pure light. Storyless one. Timeless one. The eternal I. Storyless. Timeless. Eternal. I am in the same frequency like the Supreme Being. Same frequency with God. Frequency of light, beyond time, beyond space, beyond matter. Highest consciousness, God consciousness. Silent space where my heart expands. Like its heart. Raise all souls of the world. Love. Silence. This is the nature of the self. Power of the self. During the day, any time that I can find a moment, let me consciously. Put my attention to this eternal awareness, being that I am. A pure being.